Do you remember a time where something someone was doing was really bothering you? Maybe something they said, a way they were behaving, or something they did, but you weren't sure how to address it? Today I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide for problem solving in interpersonal relationships. Hi everyone, I'm Rachel. If you appreciate the information I share with you, please subscribe to this channel. Today we're going to go through the skill called D.E.A.R.M.A.N. D.E.A.R.M.A.N is a DBT skill that helps you to deal with conflict within interpersonal relationships. The D stands for describe, the E for express, the A for assert, the R reinforce, the M mindful, the A assertive, and the N is negotiate. I'm going to give you a scenario that we're going to go through and go over how you would communicate if you were using D.E.A.R.M.A.N. Okay, so we're going to imagine there's a couple, and one of the people is really stressed, and when he is really stressed, he starts to pull away. He doesn't communicate as much, he doesn't text as much, he doesn't talk as much, and he's not as physically affectionate. And the other person, let's say he is very anxious and starts to get really worried that the boyfriend is mad at him, upset at him, etc. Okay, so the worrier is the one in this scenario who's going to bring up the grievance. So he's going to describe. When you describe, what you want to do is you want to explain the facts. You don't want to bring an emotion yet. So you're just stating what's happening. You could say, hey, I've noticed you've been texting me less. When we're together, you seem distracted. You don't seem engaged in our relationship or interested in me. You're not talking very much, and you aren't being very physically affectionate. You're not touching me as often as you typically do. And then he could also describe himself. And I notice when you do that, I start to pull away as well, or I start to be extra affectionate, trying to get reassurance. Then it's time to move on to E. So now it's time to express. So that's when you're going to explain how you feel about the situation. So in this scenario, he could say something like, when you're pulling away, I start to feel really powerless. I don't know what's going on with you. I don't feel like you're communicating very clearly, and I start to feel panicky. I start to get a lot of worry thoughts that maybe you're mad at me, maybe you're going to break up with me. I get extremely anxious about us. I start to get upset with you because I just don't know what's going on, and I feel crazy when I don't know what's going on, and just very, very anxious and panicked about it. Then it's time to assert. That's when you ask what you're hoping to get by talking about this problem. So you could say something like, when you're stressed, I would really appreciate if you could communicate with me what you're stressed about so I'm not worried that it's about me, and if you would still put some effort into our relationship and into showing curiosity about my life, as well as being still physically affectionate so that I don't have to be worried. Next, we're going to reinforce what we asked for. We're going to do that by telling the person how they're going to benefit by giving us what we asked for. So in this scenario, he could say something like, when you're able to make me feel secure even when you're stressed, I'm going to be a better support to you. I'm going to be more relaxed, and I'm going to be able to help you so much better to decrease your stress and not add to it by being worried and anxious all the time. When you do this, you want to do it mindfully. So that means you want to stay intentional, stay focused on the current situation, the current problem, and try not to bring up past grievances. Just stay focused. Okay, now you want to do it assertively. This is especially for anyone who has a hard time asking for things. So if you're, asking for something and you're avoiding eye contact, you're looking down, you're covering your body, you're, doing all of this stuff, you're not going to send as clear of a message. So even if you feel ashamed or nervous about asking, I want you to try to stand tall, look in the person's eyes, and speak clearly. And I want you to use your words instead of your emotions to explain how you're feeling. That does not mean you can't feel emotions, or you can't even act on emotions. So you can cry, that's fine. You can be upset, that's okay. But you need to explain and assert through words clearly. Okay, and last is negotiate. This is really important, especially in any sort of relationship you want to maintain. You have your opinion and your experience, and they have theirs. So I think a decent result for this ask after negotiation might be, okay, he's going to communicate what he's stressed about, and although he may not be able to be that conscious of being super aware of the other person and very curious about them and all of that while his stress level is extremely high, he can still be physically affectionate and touch him more often than he had been in order to help reassure him and make him feel that it's not about him. Okay, I hope this is helpful and that you're able to use D.E.A.R.M.A.N. It's been extremely helpful in my life, especially because it helps me take a step back and it helps me to try to figure out what it is that I'm actually upset about, what actions, what behaviors, what words were said, whatever, and then why it is I'm upset about them. Why am I feeling this way about it? And then what can my partner, friend, whomever do in order to help me feel better about it, or what can I do? And then what are they going to get by doing that? It's a really helpful structure, and I think it really helps to solve any interpersonal conflict. Okay, please subscribe to our channel. Press the bell so you'll be notified when new videos come out, and comment, let me know if this was helpful. I sure hope that it was. It's been really helpful to me. All right, have an awesome day.